I need to address two concerns. One, Mayor Quan, one is that right now I live in the Laurel District. I'm sorry, my name is Gail McDonald, and I live in the Laurel District. And I am facing a problem right outside my doors. There are homeless people living outside my door in their cars, and they've been there for over 30 days. And I live in a row of cottages where nothing but women live there. And everyone is afraid to approach these men.
All right, I'm going to just stop you right there. Is Howard Jordan still here? You get to go up here and talk to this man right now.
Okay, my other concern is that I think that to see Oakland invest in kiosks throughout the districts whereby people can go to these kiosks and get information that they cannot get at the library, that they are not internet savvy to look it up. They can have access to information that is going on here in Oakland as we want to see our city grow and improve and see good news or good things said about Oakland. I think that we can set these kiosks up as an informative base where people can go and get recent information.
I get the point. Thank you, and I hope staff is recording this. Please come up here and talk to Chief Jordan over here. Thank you. Next.
My name is Jorge Duran, and I'm a 9th grader at CCPA, also with the Peer Ed Education Program. And I've been wondering about the gang injunction, how you feel about it, and do you support it and why? Because I've heard about it, and I've seen that people get into it for no reason, and they've been wanting to get out, but that hasn't really been happening that easily.
Okay, well, my answer until yesterday was I'm still looking into it, and yesterday I got almost a complete briefing by the police department. So let me tell you two things, and it'll not make anybody happy because I'm not a black or white person on this. During the campaign as mayor, I made it also very clear. I believe that we use stay-away orders when we need to. I'll give you an example. The first time I ever used them as a council member is I had a group of young men who were hanging around the Luckies and the Laurel, the lady who just talked, and they were mugging women who had groceries and purses on their way home. And they got out of juvenile hall, and they came back and stood in front of Lucky's and taunted one of the women they had mugged. And she called me, and we got stay-away orders against them. And so, specific people, specific crime, specific area, you use stay-away orders. What I was concerned about was whether it was too broad. It's the entire Fruitvale area. It's over 100 blocks. Secondly, they did not make it clear whether or not my gang programs would be affected. So for instance, I've been a guest at the Homies dinner at the Y, and they make a point of bringing people across gang borders to try to talk to them and try to get them out of the life. I wanted to make sure there were safe places where kids trying to come out of the life could still come together, and I'm working with the police department to make sure that's defined. Thirdly, I wanted to make sure that the people who were in the injunctions were dangerous people and danger to the community, because in the beginning, one of the people who is now off the list was somebody who does not appear to have been involved in the gangs for a couple of years and is now as a student at one of the colleges out of town. But they had their reasons of saying that he still has affiliations, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's not, I think, quite frankly, I would never have used the term gang injunction. I would never have made this a PR fight that it is, and I do call it a PR fight because it has some use, but it has limited uses. One of my biggest fears, and the department knows that I'm fearful of this, I don't want to have the injunction for the Norteños in the Fruitvale and then push them into Sereno territory. Because that's apparently what happened in Southern California, that in a lot of the injunctions, it just moved the gangs over a neighborhood. Right, and in this case, we're a small town, we don't have a lot of room. I don't want to move them into somebody else's neighborhood and increase the shooting in Maxwell Park, because that's where the Serenos hang out. So it's not a simple thing, and the media wants to make it a fight between me and John Russo, or she's for it or against it. I'm a very pragmatic person. What I've been doing, to be honest, is I've been pulling together a meeting. Reagan Harmon, is she here? And we have been pulling together a meeting of all the community people who are now not talking to each other because they're mad at each other on the gang injunction, just to talk about what we can do to keep kids out of the gangs. So I promise it's a no gang injunction discussion, because frankly, I think we have to be a little honest. Some of the people on the injunction probably deserve to have injunctions against them or stay away orders. Maybe some don't, but we are now made this a thing that's bigger than the real issue, and it's dividing people who need to be working together to get kids out of gangs. So if the teachers are now mad at their PSOs and are mad at, and I see people taking sides on this and not working together. That's not going to end the problem. So as mayor, this was not my initiative. It never was actually taken from the city council. I won't say why or why not different people did it this way, but my preferred method is actually to talk about and bring people together on what we're going to do about gangs. If I need injunctions, we should use them in new areas. That's what my discussion with the police. If we need injunctions against different people, get them. There's a lot of shooting going out in 98th right now. They know who some of those people are. They want to stay away order, bless them, right? But I think the way we've done it has created such animosity and so much legal battles, and they say that the legal costs, I don't know. I haven't gotten that report yet. May cost us over $500,000. That's 2 after-school programs to me, right? So, I think we just got to get out of this bad habits of fighting each other and do things together in ways that don't pit us against each other. Last speaker.
Hello, my name is Connie Crank. I work for the American Red Cross. And Mayor Quan, my concern is really more of a request. We found out today that, to raise sickle cell awareness and try to align our donor population more with increasing African Americans, there are grassroots efforts actively alive and well, and we have plans. But what my request is, I need a real advocate that's of prominent stature. I'm talking about, whether it's a politician or it's an athlete or if it's a newscaster or someone in our local community that can really champion and identify with the needs that we have here. And
Okay,
so
I'm going to
that's
cut
all.
you off here. I
That's
get
fine.
your point. Meet with Maisha. We'll see who we can get you. Right up here, this person. All right, last
I'm
speaker.
the last one, yes. Hi, my name is Etta Johnson, and I was coming to this meeting to ask you, Mayor Quan, for you to take time and go into the code enforcement department and really do an overhaul of it, because you know what, they're really not meeting their needs. And it's very important for citizens and peoples, to live right and for the code enforcement to follow the rules and regulations of different codes. And if they can't do the job, and if they feel that they can't get dirty, you need to clean out the white collar enforcement people that's in there and hire some of the ones that's white collar criminals out, and hire some of the ones that they have made into criminals that's willing to work, that will get dirty, to check out, to make sure the job is did right.
Thank you. Wherever we go in the city, there's been a lot of complaints about blight compliance, and I don't know if it's a shortage or individual personnel in different neighborhoods. So I can tell you, we're about to name a new city administrator probably this week. When that person's hired, we're going to be both reviewing department heads and organization, and we are also going to have to do a budget. Unfortunately, we have to do both at the same time, and I can't control the calendar on the budget. But we're going to be looking at each of those. But in terms of the blight in this neighborhood, because I only got to walk 1 or 2 beats in this, or precincts in this neighborhood, I think, because this is going to be one of my beats, I can promise you that as I get a little bit more breathing room on the budget, that I'm going to come back out and walk with our blight inspectors and with Arturo Sanchez. Where's Arturo? Arturo's the problem property person. So I'm going to come out with him, and I'm going to do that for the neighborhood crime councils, or what I'd like to call the neighborhood consuls. I'm going to be making dates with the neighborhood consuls to walk through some of the beats and looking at the problem properties that you're talking about in this neighborhood. So that's what I can promise to do, follow up within the next few months.
Well, I have did research and have dealt with the code compliance department, and I found out, it's not the shortage of the staff, it's just that they're not doing their work.
Well, if you have a specific complaint, if you want to put that in writing, and I'm sorry, the city administrator is not here, the interim city administrator is not here. If you want to do that, put it in writing and give it. temporarily to Mr. Sanchez, because he
Mr.
works
Sanchez?
most closely with them. We will follow up on your complaint. So
Okay,
I'm
I
going to
wanna
just
be a
cut it
mentor
off
on
here so that we can do the drawing for the kids, so that I can have Chris come up and talk about a project that he's working on.
Great, thank you, Mayor. On behalf of the school district, I want to thank Mayor Quan for coming to District 6. So, give a big round of applause for our mayor. And all of our principals over here. I know Mr. Townsend he came in a little bit late. He's a Harvard guy, really interesting. You want to talk to him. Our special acknowledgement, one of the best partnerships we have with the city is the after-school OFCY program. I know Ms. Alvarado was here from the Elevate program. They have, when I was teaching to currently all of our schools have after-school programs thanks to the city. So what a great partnership, and the taxpayers of Oakland. The testing that the students take in end of April, early May is called the STAR testing, and it's basically they're ranked between a 200 and 1,000 score. So a good school, quote unquote, or a good score is 800. Last year we had 3 District 6 schools break the 800 mark. Burkhalter and Carl Monk with 821. And, is Ms. Thomas still here? We had Whittier at Greenleaf, 826, the highest test scores in East Oakland at Whittier, right down the street. And finally, I know you're giving away some A's tickets, just word in from spring training. The A's are beating the Giants 6-0. So go A's.
Okay, so you know, I want you to buy local and buy Oakland. If each of us, everybody in Oakland, would just buy 25% more in the city, I'd have another $10 million. That buys a lot. They give you an idea what $10 million is worth in this city. That's the entire budget of the Park and Rec Department. So just think about it. At that time when you're thinking of moving over the San Leandro border or maybe buying something online, if you take a look around the city and buy it here instead, just 25% more, $10 million. Okay, so the grand drawing. Now this is for a special A's game. We're going to take one U from every city. They're going to have dinner on the Diamond, etc. However, where's my husband Floyd? Where's the husband? My husband Floyd is the keeper of my A's tickets. If the young people want tickets to go to one game, hit him up. He's very soft-hearted. All right, so come up here and hit him up afterwards. So I'm picking one out of here.
I'm going to explain. This prize is for 7 youth from throughout the city, of course for the game, but in addition, after the game, to have dinner with Oakland A's players on the field.
Sean Johnson. Keep track of this. Okay, so you guys standing in the back, come up here and hit this guy up for more tickets. All right, before we end, we're going to end with a chant. I really want to thank everyone. This has been amazingly interesting and warm and community building, and I learned a lot today, and you're going to learn a lot when we type up everything and share it with you. And we will have follow-up meetings. If you live in this beat, I'll see you at the neighborhood councils as the year goes on. So, who's leading the chant?
And so we just wanted to end the meeting traditionally how we've ended meetings is with a unity clap. And what a unity clap is, it comes from the farm workers movement where it united Chicano workers and Filipino workers who couldn't speak the same language, but they knew they had to work together, right? Oakland is so diverse, it's so beautiful. And so what the unity clap is, it starts as one clap. It starts out slow and individual. Eventually it gets stronger and stronger and stronger until the whole city has to hear us. So let's start that clap.
Thank you, and be safe.